Okay, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to TFC's Open Mic edition 21. Okay, and we titled this one "Feeling Suboptimal." Obviously, the skirmisher line is in the Foundry, and I'm sure everybody's been having some interesting times going and collecting all their Foundry parts to try and get their 4 specific subs up to speed. What we'll do tonight, we'll just say hello across the panel from start to finish. Obviously, myself, TSM. Good evening to everybody. Wassel, good evening to you, mate.
How are you? And it's what the hell?
It's what the hell, yeah, but I abbreviate everything, so there we go. What the hell, there we go. So, Paul, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good.
That's good. We've got Jeff in as well.
Yep.
Imri's in.
Yep.
And it's good to see you got Agni in tonight. Hey, bud.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah, no, it's good. So, yeah, good panel tonight. That's it. I'll just quickly mention, I did change it, obviously, to tonight. I was out last night, and I know Liam Blessing took Lucy out for the weekend, that sort of stuff. I don't think they've recovered yet. I saw a couple of pictures online on my own Facebook, my own personal one, and they had one hell of a party, I can tell you that. So anybody that actually is a friend of them on Facebook themselves, it got a bit raucous. So there's absolutely no way he was going to make tonight, because I saw him at 5 a.m. this morning with a really horrendous-looking hairdo, which was quite funny. But anyway, so... yeah, welcome to those in the chat. I've got chat up as well, so yeah, Liam's a slacker. I've got that as well. So anybody's got any questions, add them in obviously into the chat for the forum as well. Does anybody want to crack off with the subject for tonight? I'll leave it to you to start with, guys. I've got a few things to talk about, but obviously up to yourselves. You want to start on something particular?
You're on your own.
I'm on my own. Okay.
You had a good list. Kick them off.
Okay, so great for some, not so great for others. Let's talk about the Gore Saber fix, shall we? Did anybody actually go and put the obviously the new mortar onto a Gore Saber and go and prep some bases out?
No.
No one bothered wasting the money doing that.
Really, it was quite interesting to see a player using that on the Legion forces, and he was not triggering the ships just about before they came up with the fix. But yeah, it was pretty interesting because they're trying to figure out how he was doing it, and then obviously it became clear with that extended range, and he was not triggering any of the ships, neither the heavy cruisers nor the Zoes. So yeah, that kind of worked out well for him so far. That it got fixed.
I mean, the Gore Saber is great. I mean, the point is, any ship, and you know what? I said this about 5 or 6 weeks ago. You know, when you've got a certain number of employees against a population base that exceeds your employee number by 50 at least, you know, the population base is going to win over every single time. Now, all it just takes is an individual, especially when you've got combination weapons. All you need is an individual just to go down through his fleet holes, look at statistics, look at the weapons, and then cross-reference one v the other. And that's clearly what the person that worked this out, and then obviously spread it to the community, did. He looked at the fact that, oh, actually, these combination weapons do have issues sometimes. Let's look at some of the other hulls that are available that could exploit the rocket/mortar overload issue or range issue. And that's exactly what happened here, isn't it?
Yep.
It's,
does that mean I've got to dig my Gore Sabers out and refit them now, does it? Or no?
Well, do you know what? There's some other ships. You know, there are some interesting ships that everybody's put away into their sort of like, you know, their holds and that sort of stuff. You know, and Gore Sabers is one of the ones I forgot I even had Gore Sabers until I looked and then pulled them back out again. And I did, and I just stuck one of these the mortars on there. Like, I went and hit her, you know, with some citadels behind, and I went and hit just a 71 cargo, and I couldn't believe what had happening. I was like, "No, this is ridiculous." You know, it's a basic test. Everything they build now should obviously be cross-referenced with everything that's old. Otherwise, it's going to come up with these complicated issues.
Well, a Gore Saber is a stronghold by its own right, anyway, isn't it?
Well, it was, yeah.
So,
I mean, it was basically a prep hole. Did anybody see the video?
Nope. Not seen
No.
Oh, there was a video posted to me online, and basically, I mean, the Gore Saber didn't last very long, but well, someone's got YouTube running as well in the background.
Yeah, that's not
I
me.
can hear it.
We've got an echo somewhere.
Not me this time.
Just take a look, guys. It's all right. It does that sometimes. Yes. So basically, long and short of it was that the obviously with the extra rocket range, what it did was made the rotor range increase as well. And I think it was going up to 127 was the mortar range. Then if you fitted the I can't remember the name of the mortar, the combination mortar that had rocket and mortar as well, it then reached up to 127, which obviously is.
Yes, and it might be you that's got YouTube running at the same time as well, mate.
Yeah, but
Can't.
make sure you mute it if you guys have it running.
It's not me, mate. I've not even got YouTube up.
Yeah, same here. I don't have it up. So.
Oh, it's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting an echo here. Alright, nor have I. So,
There we go. It's gone now.
yep, okay, we're sorted. We're
Whoever
sorted.
that was. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's done.
We don't
So-
care who had it running as long as it's switched off. Yeah.
It's gone now. So there we go. It's damnation just that it's Imri. Anyway, just double check, guys. You won't mind. It's still there.
But I've got you guys on. Actually on surround, so maybe I should put my headphones in.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I've still got the echo.
Give me a sec.
I'll just stick Imri on mute for a second then quickly. Is it gone now, is it? That sounds
like
fine, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. It was Imri, yeah. Okay.
I got it.
Okie dokie. So there we go. So yeah, basically they fixed that one then. Basically, so the Gorsay now is acting correctly, and basically those that basically did decide to coin, and to be honest, all you had to do was coin one weapon, and that was it, and you use it as a prep. Now, obviously, the way the bases are set up since when the Gorsaber came out, it didn't work too well. It didn't last very long either, but it was still quite impressive to see the range that damn thing had, because it was reaching a phenomenal distance. So. You were pushing right into people's center islands just from the outside, and even if you were 5.5 tiles, it was still making it. So yeah, it's an oversight. So ignoring the fact that it was a Gorsaber, the fact that it's any hull, it just proves the fact that these combination weapons have got additional triggers and additional concerns, and it just takes a little bit more, And I did see somebody say on the forums as well that, why are we the players being the alpha testers? We shouldn't be. We should be buying, finished products. Do you agree with that?
It's like you said before, we find ways around doing what they put out, but yes, the new hull's not working properly. We're going to touch on that subject. Things like that, a brand new hull coming into a game should work as it should be put out as what we're getting for what we're spending, repairing, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You should get value for money or value for repair, whichever way you want to look at it, whichever way we decide to go. The hull that you're actually going for should work as intended, shall we say?
Yeah, we like
Intended, yeah.
yeah, we like that term, do we?
It
really
does have a problem with the primary targeting on that hull, right? Because I still have one, I think, a day left on it to get built, but I saw a video where the targeting was not working.
Yes,
on that
it's
new
not.
hull.
It's
I
not.
coined 2 of them, and it's not working properly. However, that's been a trend with Kick here lately. Is the hulls have come out with some little glitch to them, and then they've worked it out. But this is a big fix for them.
So is this a problem on the hull itself, or is it the new weapon put on the hull?
It's a good question. I don't know if it's the weapon specifically, because at the end of the day, obviously it's a heavy weapon, so what it's going to put it on, you could put it on a HC as well. I saw somebody fit it to a HC, and it was disastrous. So I'm guessing it's the weapon.
Yeah, it's a range. It's a range on the heavy weapons not working as it should.
Correct. You can't target with it from the long range.
Yeah, it stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's being worked on. The hull itself is also, I mean, while we're talking about the TFC itself, I mean, we'll talk about the targets and that sort of stuff quickly in a minute, but let's talk about the prizes then. So we got the special first, didn't we, on the first pack of 3? What do you think about the special?
Not fitted yet, so I can't actually
I think
comment on that.
the accuracy part of this would be helped, because people are going to use it like different levels of players. There'll be, if whoever has been able to avail of this will be able to use it on launcher ships to increase the accuracy, which, you know, kind of in general throughout launchers, the bane has been evaded. So this might just be a boost which can enhance or, you know, prolong the life of launcher-based weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I put it on my Vanquisher as well, because that's the only part of the TFC I did. I just wanted the special. I wasn't really I'm never interested in heavy weapons personally, and the hull, it was a niche market hull. I wasn't happy to use that to hit bases because it didn't have missile defense built in. So I thought to myself, anybody that's with Dead Eyes, which is nearly most of the big bases, is going to absolutely annihilate you. We can talk about the hull in itself, specifics about what it can and can't do in a minute, but as a fleet, the special, yes, for me. The weapon, no, because I don't like heavy weapons. And the hull, it was a hit and miss, probably 50-50 if I could be bothered, to be honest. Anybody else have any different opinions to that? I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm just looking at the accuracy on the launchers at the moment.
All right.
This
because the new launch is 50% accurate, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the rest of them, looking at it very swiftly through, everything else on the launchers is 70%. So with the new special we've got, it's 30% accuracy, isn't it? On top?
But obviously it's multiplicative, isn't it? So it's 30% on top of the 50%, isn't it?
Yeah, but all the other launchers are 70% at the moment, so it might... whatever.
It brings them back up in line, doesn't it, roughly?
Yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't make it excessively...
20. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, plus 25%. I see Jeff's in chat now.
This new hull, if you guys, any of you guys have tested it in a base, I'm saying it specifically from the point that you mentioned regarding not having any penetrating bypass or deflection or resist. It doesn't. It's got a handicap. Now, when my base has got hit, like a level 7 turret base with a Deadeye with attack transformer and smart warheads, was barely even scratching the hull. What makes me wonder is it like a bug that anyone has noticed on this hull while hitting a base?
No, mine, I've taken mine in several bases, and they die quickly from the Deadeyes. They kill them.
We've got some good allies in where we are at the moment that have come in to do some insectoring and that sort of stuff, you know, and I like it when the bigger alliances come in because it gives you a good chance to test your base out. And so far, every single fleet of the new hull that's come in has died, and it hasn't even got me to bubble at all. You know, and my Deadeyes are absolutely annihilating this hull. Absolutely.
Right, they've got the missile defense on the new hull is totally horrible, and again, not being able to retarget, you can't outrange anything, so you have to move in closely, and by that time, the Deadeyes in most good bases are going to knock you out.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. Has anybody else noticed that? No, not really. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not actually running the new old Mark. So
okay.
I can't really,
so on the counters,
I'm only going off what I've seen from King Cobra that's got one up and running. So
yeah. So on the counter to that, then, have you seen what it's like in your base as a base defense hull?
I did not put one in my base. I coined 2 of them, but after the reports I've heard, there will be one in my base defense tonight.
Yeah. Do you want to go through why that is? It's quite funny, isn't it?
No, because the defensive handicap is like 100%, but I'm starting to learn that doesn't have anything to do whether it's in your base defense. It has to do with the specials you put on it.
The interesting thing is, if you look at the boom when the thing gets destroyed, if you look at the extra damage that it produces in the radius that it gives it out at, and then if you add the Reaver engine on top of that as well, I notice that people have put them in their bases and they put them in the front line. So when the attacking hulls come in, they're actually blowing the attacking hull out of the water.
Isn't that because it's got resistance or deflection or whatever against everything that most people are attacking with, and he's using missiles to hit a base these days?
Yeah, the thing is, it's actually advertised as a base hitting ship.
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
And it's working better as a base defense because of the stats. You know where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's got that decent amount. It can't take a hit, but that's not the point. But when it explodes, doesn't it ever make a mess? That's the point.
You
know,
set it right next to an anti-ship, and keep the mortars off of it and the missiles, and you're great.
Yeah.
I think when they came out with the minigun turret, I don't know how many of you all have put it in the base. It kind of just finished off Revengers coming into your base. So if this ship was intended as a replacement, because it came out as a time-limited campaign, and if it was intended as a replacement to tank along with the Vendettas to replace the Revenge, well, it's just gone down really bad.
Yeah.
This is going to face the same problem against the multiple Deadeye fire on everything maxed out. So you go back to the drawing board again with your tanks.
I was expecting this to jump ship and replace the Revenge, I must admit. And then when I saw one come in my base when somebody had that and some Vendettas, I was like, "That well, you must be really annoyed, mate, because you've just coined this ship, and it was sculled, so they obviously coined the rank as well, and to lead some Vendettas, and it absolutely just got annihilated. It didn't even get to the channel. It didn't even make it that far. It came inside the range of the 6 Deadeyes I've got, and it was gone.
Well, I think this hull was originally meant to be the prize in the next raid, and it was kind of an afterthought for Kick to throw it into somewhere where we could get it, and then put the subs into this next raid.
I did hear that. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
That's true.
There's no confirmation on that. I must admit, I saw Damnation just said the same thing as well. So, and I know Dam runs on another show as well. So, but the point is, and that's great. But are they trying to make it so that then everybody is going to go for the top prize in the whole raid, and it's going to be a sub? So they're giving everybody almost that direction that you will build this new sub. Or you'll just go with the subs that you've already got. We'll talk about those in a minute. But, because if they put out 2, the left and right tier prizes, the must-have, the left-hand tier would be the sub, the right-hand tier being this new hull. And anybody that doesn't have a hull would have gone, well, do you know what? I've got some subs, so I'm going to go right tier instead. They'd spend 30 million points, in the whole raid to get the tier, the special, and that sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, I'm bummed here because actually I can't hit bases even anyway.
It shouldn't be a tier system anyway, should it, with the whole raid?
No, there won't be.
Not being funny.
We've not had one of this new system yet, have we? So I'm interested to see what's coming out.
Yeah, that's
I don't mean that
really
to sound
going
horrible,
to.
but if it is,
It's going to be a big downer if they come up with a price structure in a hull raid. I think it should be an open hull raid because a lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot of players will, try and catch up who are coming back into the game, or just generally players trying to keep on par. If it's again going to be, left-hand side and right-hand side, it's just going to be a very disappointing hull raid.
I think the whole raid should be open.
I do
As a
too.
person,
It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
I think they're still going to have the left and right. The Apollo's going to be on the one side, and the new ship's going to be on the other. And
Well,
then
they said they'd run Apollo for 3 months. They've had to.
they're going to run it till the end of this cycle.
Yeah, and this is the last one of the cycles, isn't it?
So it'll still be in there this time.
Or like last raid, they'll give it to everybody.
But it's a whole raid, isn't it? This time, it's a whole raid.
It all depends on whether they lock the hull store or have it in the open store.
They've got to have it in the open, surely.
I would hope so.
Well,
it doesn't. Not being funny, to me personally, it probably doesn't make much difference. But to anybody who's, as you say, mid-tech, low-tech players, they're going to need an open store.
Yeah, very much so.
And they've never done a hull raid before with 2 sides and a tier level. It's always been,
open,
pretty much wide open.
Yeah.
There is one thing that, since you guys mentioned, I'm just thinking that they keep to a certain number or a certain type of hulls, they keep it open in the store, and then they keep a left-hand right or a tier system on some of the top hulls, which you'll be will be forced to choose between this or that. But the lower-end hulls or medium-level hulls, lot that have passed by, will be open in the hull store.
For me personally, I think if there's a new sub, that's a top tier. Okay, I get that. And then below that, maybe if there's just one structure below that, if you wish to get it and you want to get the Apollo, that's up to you. And then if you're going to lock anything, the only thing you should lock then are maybe some shards and possibly not necessarily, but maybe some tokens.
No,
but definitely there's. But well, look, if you're going to lock something, okay, those are the two things that you can. They're nice to haves, but they're not absolutely massive. I mean, I want shards for my ghost crawler. I've only got less than 50 to go, and that's what I intend to build if I get them. But looking at the community as wide, I don't think any other things apart from the new sub should be locked.
Right.
Everything else should be open to grab if it's available to grab. I don't expect last month's. The Apollo's got to be in there because it's been open for so long now. That but I don't expect like the vendettas to be there. But if they are there, they're there, sort of stuff. But it shouldn't be locked if they are. They just should be a set amount of coins. A set amount of points.
I'm wondering if they're going to go the same direction they've been, though, to where the hull will be the first prize, and then the weapon and the special is after that.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, but if you're gonna,
they're damned if they do. They're damned if they don't, aren't they? With the hull and the specials. I mean, if you go back 2 years in the game, everybody collected the specials first because you knew within 3 months in a hull raid, if you needed the hull, you'd get it. That's why we always collected the special weps, whatever was available as a special. 2 years ago, we used to always take the special first, then go for the hull.
Exactly.
I got you.
It's how kicks are sort of working a little bit in the direction of you can't build an Apollo wrong.
Oh, I agree. You've got to be pretty bad at building ships if you're going to build a bad Apollo.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo, you could even, not being funny, you could even get away with cut 3s on it. And you couldn't build it bad. Do you know where I'm coming from? So
it's probably the most robust hull we've had in a long time.
Yeah. Kicks are trying to point us in a direction, as we said earlier, as a player base, they say you will fit this particular item, this particular special to this hull, and we'll go through all our old tech, and we'll run down through it and go, actually, we can do that, and we can do that. That's the thing but Kicks are trying to point us in a direction where...
I suppose the only thing they could do, really, is if they aren't going to lock anything, is if you select a hull, maybe the special and the certain weapon behind that hull then becomes unlocked. So let's just say you went for an Apollo, and then in behind that would be obviously the weapon that went with the Apollo and the special went with the Apollo. And did it that way maybe. So, but there'd be more strings to the ladder then, unfortunately. But or just don't flip and lock it at all. But if it's a whole raid, generically there aren't a whole stack of special and a whole stack of weapons. That's the whole nature of a whole raid. Yeah, it's a catch-up raid, isn't it?
There's another thing. If the mediocre guy is trying to do the raid on his own, and all he can grab is just a few million points, usually they went after the gun because we rarely see them coming back again, and they used to try to use that in a previous hole, which is also suitable for the weapon. And that door is closed because they have to get the hole, and if they don't get the weapon for it, then they have to use something old, and that usually sucks.
No, I agree. Well, let's just hope that the Apollo is in there. Let's just hope it's not it shouldn't be the top prize because the new sub should be, and anybody that's making it to tier 4s or can obviously pick up a blade, and we all know that blades on Apollos work perfectly well.
That's the only exception that we can come up with.
Yeah. But this is the end of this cycle now, so we're going into subs, and obviously Apollos aren't going to be the flavour of the month, to do raids with in the future, because I certainly wouldn't try and put an Apollo in any of the Reaver tech stuff that I've seen.
No, but there's still such a handy sub for guys, or a fleet for people, that they still need them, the Apollos.
Armadas, easy. You can do Armada 75s for free with Apollos.
Basically, yeah.
And the 91 megas for the gantry.
And I saw somebody running around with Apollo leads with, I think he had some DNXs or something behind him. He was running around making a right mess with a couple of Apollos, running around some 107 FM targets. And actually, everything was targeted is Apollo, but it was running so fast he got away with it. And basically, he was taking everything out with the mortar ships. I was quite surprised when I saw it. It's quite effective.
Well, they could use it for a spotter really well.
because he was running in, obviously making the MIRV trigger, and then just dipping in, dipping back out again. By the time the MIRV reset again, he was back out, so it was yet again targeting his Apollo, and then he'd obviously dash off, and it would keep missing. So it never actually targeted his DNX, which was quite nice to see. But anyway, so okay, so yeah, so time limit campaign. Do you want to have a quick talk about the targets? Obviously, there's 9 targets. There's 3 sets of 3. Has anybody done all 3 sets?
I did.
You've done it, Imre, have you?
Yeah.
Agni, what about you, mate?
Of course, I've coined 2 of the new boats.
Well, yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I'm going to finish up with the first boat. Yeah, it was, I think, some people who did not have the Vendetta, well, it was a full stop. That's it. They could have given more variety, but in this you just ran into a dead end in the price pack 2 and 3 without Vendettas. The price pack 1, there were a lot of variants, people using Punishers or Revenges and other ships, but 2 and 3, no Vendetta, no go. So yeah, it was a downer for a lot of people who did not have that build.
Do you think I think was quite nice, and which took us back to old school? People that had the old subs with missile on them, sort of stuff. You could actually, they got rid of the defense, the spotting thing, so you could go in and you could take out the ships and obviously the turrets as well, and you weren't getting spotted with obviously the old tech as we used to do, sort of.
I think the Reapers worked well. Not that I've got any, but
I practically did almost every target using my Deluge Tigers, prepping almost every base with them. Obviously, the last one was a bit hurried, but I used it even in that price pack 3.
Yeah, I've done
the sonar. So without sonar, those ships are blind to Deluge.
Yeah, it was good to see for a change, wasn't it? Because obviously that was all kited, wasn't it? But and nerfed, wasn't it? Obviously in standard bases and that sort of stuff. So it's nice to see, and even the old subs could come in and do the same thing as well, which is nice. You could even do it with Kudas. I saw someone guide it with Kudas as well, using Deluge Kudas as well. So it's nice to see that it's possible. Even if it is just for a TFC and that sort of stuff. But what did you think about? Obviously, they tried the little thing about having a couple of people's base names in there as well. That was quite amusing, didn't you think?
Yeah, it was okay. It was just it was hard to find where they were because they only showed up on the pop-up.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. It was just on the pop-up itself, and obviously that's a bit that most people just click right past, didn't they? So it's a shame it wasn't actually in the actual whilst you're taking part and actually hitting the base itself, because it just said level 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it was, didn't it? So, but they were genuinely okay. They weren't the people's. Let's just say the land tiles were the people's bases, not necessarily all the turrets, and certainly not the ships. They weren't.
Right.
Because I know nearly everybody that was actually. In fact, I've seen everybody's base that actually went in for that, and well, we all seen Ren's video, in fact, and whilst that was very similar to Ren's base, it was his base. It wasn't his fleet. So it was something quite close. But again, there's another thing you could take part in. Well, it's still going. You could take part in it. You don't have to take part in it. I've just gone for the special. That's all I've gone for, and it's already on my one of my base ships. So personally. But yeah, so those that have got the hulls, some people are going to put it in their base, which is contrary to what obviously Keats is trying to do to us. But that's the way we play. And I don't think the weapon's going to be fixed in a hurry, unless they're going to do it for the delayed release on Thursday. We'll see. Should we talk about Thursday's release? Should we talk about that now?
Sure.
Well, we'll cover both bits anyway. So we've got Monday maintenance, just in case you haven't read the forums, basically. So Monday's maintenance is actually going to be 9 p.m. Kixie time, which is UK time 1 p.m. And basically the game's going to be off. Actually, it's going to be off for a full hour. So I'm not quite sure what it is updating. Whether it's something to do with our own mega holes, or whether it's just another one of those inspection of people that are doing naughty things in their bases again or something. I'm not really sure, but it's going to be off for a full hour, so there'll be a downtime of an hour at probably one of the most interesting times of the day for most people that live in the States, 9 p.m. It's when you have a bit of downtime, isn't it? So, yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, just probably a limited version of Pokies that's going to be out. 1 hour downtime.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? They used to do that a lot, but it doesn't seem to happen anymore, does it, to be honest? But there we go.
Move everyone mad.
Yeah, but yeah, and then obviously as well on the bottom of that message I saw on the forums as well, it said that the main update for the week is going to be delayed till Thursday. It's not going to happen on Tuesday like it normally does. So whilst obviously the weekly mission will continue, the new one will kick off on Tuesday. The actual game update is not going to happen until Thursday. So I'm not quite sure what it is they're updating.
I got a feeling it's got a lot to do with the new raid format and the raid coming up.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, good possibility.
I've not seen any hints as to what the delay is and why it's taking an extra 2 days.
Usually they do the raid update 1 day before the raid, so this shouldn't be it.
Well, I really feel like they're going to throw out some bones for us to play with on that upgrade, because the raid's the next week,
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't they also mention that they're going to give people the chance to start coining the gantry and the mega ship at the end of July as well?
I hope it's not just for that.
That's true, but I mean, nobody is within a month of getting that. Well, I'm within 29 days of having the Hyperion, so nobody's within time for them to throw it in there. And it may be R&D. Damnation said that.
Yeah, do you know that was the other thing? But I heard that R&D plus 31 was over and above was to do with the release for the parts for the Hyperion. So
It's possible.
Well, then again, let's get to see them, and then obviously we're going to be counting down. But I don't see you being able to coin any parts for your Hyperion until they finish with all the business of doing the raid. Otherwise, people will be interested in messing around with Hyperions and they're not going to be raiding, and that's not profitable for Kixie. Or is it?
Why the hell would you coin that? They don't have the parts for it yet.
Well, they might do them on Thursday.
You're true.
Well, let's say, what if Thursday is R&D 31 to 50, and it's all about Hyperion parts? Is that
There's going to be a lot of pissed off people then.
Yeah, you're probably right. So it sounds about right then, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like the Hyperion parts, they're going to put another target on the map where you've got to go collect, some ridiculous amount of parts and take a ridiculous amount of damage to get each component.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't even done the gantry. I was so busy doing other stuff for other people and running the TFC and that sort of stuff, and helping out Liam and the crew. I haven't even got around to doing it because it's quite labour intensive, And I suppose once I finish with my Apollos, what I'll probably end up doing is just going auto in 91s with them and just letting them, because then they're still useful, aren't they? And when we get onto the new format of the raid, so I'll play catch up, but I'm not taking the lead as some people are in the crew here. So. But I know Gadget is, and I certainly know that Monster is as well. So, I can follow their lead and that sort of stuff and pick up on some of their ideas. But there we go. Monica's in the chat saying excuses. Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, mine will be about 4 days behind Gadgets.
In fact, it says Monica, but I know exactly who that is. Anyway, not to worry. Yeah, it's a family account they've got there. So there we go. Yeah, I know who you are, mate. Don't worry about it. That's good. Right. Okay. So something I thought would be interesting to talk about. Really, did you ever notice then that obviously with the release, obviously the new sub parts that you can get, that they said that the Phantom element of the subs is actually going to be already set to R5, so you haven't got to do anything with them. You were all whinging last week and week before, particularly me, because I was whinging a lot directly to Kixie as well, saying that, come on, where's the connect between updating your Tiger Sharks and then updating your Phantom Tiger Shark? What are we going to do? Something's going to be wrong. And then obviously it came straight back.
Completely sucks.
I mean, it's a bit goofed at the moment, isn't it? Because your Phantom Tiger Shark is now already R5. Well, unless you want to spend an absolute fortune in coin, 119 whatever it is dollars, you're not going to get your Tiger Sharks to R5. So
that's what I'm saying. Your Phantom right now, if you take it out and you've got Tiger Sharks behind it, it'll outrun them. It'll move. It'll do things that the others won't.
Yeah,
and it screws you.
where we thought it was going to be slower and turn less and all that sort of stuff, it's now the other way around. It's turning faster, it's getting there quicker and that stuff, and it's being bloody annoying.
And
It's
the other
setting
thing, if there's no targets for it, and you can't get you couldn't go out and just blast it and bring the rest of your fleet up to match it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a
it's
couple of
more or
people
less
today, haven't they?
stuck like the Rhino as well.
Hmm.
Like with the R5, I think on that. It's stuck with the same thing with the Tiger Shark. People stuck at R4.
Did you see that this week they put out a sale and you could buy like certain I can't even say it, 100 what was it? 100 and something. I mean, for us it was 100 and something pounds just for a few fragments, and I was like, come on, please.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
I'm scratching my head here, looking at why would I want to buy a motorhead screw for 13 gold?
Yeah.
It's like one of those, glorious assumptions that keep knocking you in the head. Why would you want to do that?
Motorhead screw buying is more likely than paying for Lucky Buster.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No, that's a fair point. But they're going to either have to. I mean, God forbid. I mean, it'd be nice if something comes out on this Thursday release. Maybe that's something to do with it, and they're releasing the R5 section of many things, but I don't think so. But, the R5 stuff's got to be available, obviously, before the whole raid starts. Before the new raid format starts. Otherwise, you are definitely going to be at a miss with your subs, and they'll be miscalculating, which is something you need to be doing, because it needs to be quite accurate, obviously, in this Reaver format. But, yeah, go on.
The thing that irritates me most about the store, the whole, and the Foundry is the fact that you've got this Phantom Tiger, you're running it with Tigers, and unless you go spend these coins, then you've got a screwed up fleet forever.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So at some stage, whether it's halfway through I absolutely understand. It's a profit-making organization. It is a company, and they've got people to feed. Okay, so if you want to buy time, then you get the early release, and I absolutely get that, and I never have an issue with that whatsoever. And anybody that says, "Oh, here we go, they're Kixie doing it again," well, understand this. I mean, you spend your own money by going to work and then having some money left over and spending it on whatever it be. And they're doing the same thing. They're trying to earn money to be able to spend money on their own families and their own children. That's the way it is. But it can't be the only answer. You must be able to, once you've had the advantage of using the coins or whatever it is, you must then at a later stage be able to get it and let everybody else catch up. Otherwise, you kill off the player base and you're only left with a load of whales. And that's the tricky part. When do you let people have things for basically free? At what stage later in the game? Whether it be through capability, whether it be through time, it's got to be built around, at some stage, everybody coming back up to an equilibrium. It's got to be. Otherwise, you will kill people off.
And I think that their intentions were, because we were all griping because they didn't do anything for the elite fleets or for the limited fleets. I think their intentions were to fix that first going in, but they ended up screwing it up to where now you've got to buy something to fix the fleets that go with the one they fixed.
Yeah. I mean, I nearly choked on my coffee when I saw that come up. You log back into the game, and all of a sudden, here's a sale, and it obviously wasn't for the Tiger, but it was another one, and I was like, no, $119. Let's just put that into common sense, if they'd put it across the board and it said it was like, I don't know, $19, something like that, I'm sure a percentage. I mean, someone there must do their maths, I mean, I'm sure that more people would have gone for it if it was a sensible, $20 buy or something like that, rather than $120 buy.
Right, and then that's still not enough to finish it.
No, exactly, no. But then that sort of like gets you then sort of like interested in starting. That's almost like teasing you then, isn't it? I'm half done, and then the next lot maybe
start then, because you've already spent the money, and then you realize you're stuck.
You're hooked.
And then they dangle the bait. You grab onto it, and then there's no way out.
Yeah. And that's the very nature of this format of free-to-play game, isn't it? Free-to-play, not free-to-win. But yeah, okay.
But again, I was trying to look for the positives on what Kick was trying to do for us, the players, because they have listened to us, and I really think that they were trying to give us a perk, a positive, but then they screwed it in the rear end for us.
Well, it swings and roundabouts, because ultimately, if they hadn't given us the perk, all the subs that we've got at the moment just wouldn't have worked, would they?
True.
It just wouldn't have worked. I mean, the shocker is, and no, it's not a shocker. The bit that we forgot is the Reaver core engine explodes, and it does explosive damage. That was the bit we forgot. You know, so they had to then perk the subs up if we're going to have a pure sub raid, because none of our subs had explosive protection, did they? You know, so every single one of them had to gain something. So that update made absolute sense. The fact that you can obviously boost it with AA3 and that sort of stuff, you know, and then obviously start doing some good Foundry work on top of that. I think that's a nice to have. Me personally, you know, whilst I'm playing around hitting 71s and just upgrading some of my CUDAs, because I've still got some, I'm not going to upgrade anything else, because I'm just going to get the new sub in the new raid and just run with that. That's all I'm doing.
That's what I'm doing.
You know, so whilst Foundry is something to do, I certainly don't get rushing out and charging around like many people are. But then again, I'm in a position where I've got a good set of Apollos, and as long as the format hasn't changed, I know I'll be able to get it within 2 hours. If it's about 30 minutes.
Rankin put up a good post that said that right now the targets that are on the map are not going to continue to be the targets that are on the map. Right now they're very linear as far as subs go. And that they would end up being where you would take some damage, however, they wouldn't be so boom, you're dead kind of thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there's a few things to say about that, isn't there? I mean, basically, I know for a fact that we're going to get another preview for the new raid before we get rid of it. Maybe just after the August raid. But I'm not really sure, but there's definitely another one coming. I had that confirmed as well. But I've also confirmed that. I don't know if you saw the questions that we sent in for last week. You know, they came back, and even in there, it was stated that basically you have two options. If you don't think you can make it to the top tier, you know, and you don't generally in raids, then Foundry subs and crack on, and you'll do okay. But if you do think you can make it and that's your normal thing, then you may as well wait. And they openly admitted that, so that's fair of them, to be honest.
I agree.
You know, and let's go back down the line. When was the last time in this game that you ever had 3.5 months notice of what was coming in a raid?
No, that's never been in the game.
This definitely has been a huge plus, rather than just getting thrown onto our face, because I'm saying this specifically as I interact with players from not the top level player base, but a huge percentage of the player base that is not at the top level. They're not coining everything out. It's given them, I think, a huge advantage, and they must take it. You know, in CUDAs, Spectras, every kind of sub, basically you've got the time and the tools to refit them without always trying to, you know, coin your way through because you're stacked for time. There's a huge amount of time gap that's been given. So, yeah, I think it's a huge advantage there.
They did that with the Apollos also. You got to admit.
Well, the Apollos are a giveaway, really, weren't they? To be fair,
they weren't really giving away, but they did tell you these work, use them.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
agree.
I went out and got them my first fleet. I was running Aegis, 3 Rhinos, and a pun tank. Fortunately enough, I had the pun tank, and I went out there. And not being funny, without sounding horrible, I was a bit disappointed that they actually put it out for 3 months in a row.
Yeah, but that's personal to you, people. To be honest, mate. You know, you started that, and I did as well. And a lot of people at the start of that raid cycle went, "I'm not getting this hull. It looks shit."
Yeah, that's
right.
Know,
and you know what? I thought to myself, well, I like collecting hulls because that's the thing. A lot of people like getting, you know, base medals, and a lot of people do different things. I like collecting hulls. You know, some people like collecting the badges. I like collecting the hulls. That's just the way I am. You know, so I went and got it, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me really quickly that actually this is going to be quite a little thing, and it's going to be decent, you know. And then I built one, no armor and that sort of stuff, as did a couple of other people, and I saw what it could do, just one single ship, and I didn't even get the special, or I didn't even get the weapon. I thought I'll just chuck out the blades on it and see what happens, and I was stunned. and it absolutely revolutionised the game. You know, and I was like that, flipping it.
And now they're giving us the sub for the next raid a month in advance.
Yes.
I mean, Kix has been very, very fair to a lot of people. The mid-tech, low-lead tech players, if they're lucky and they tag up with somebody, they can pick this tech up as well. So it's not just. Some people say top-end players get all the toys, get all the fun. I've seen a lot of 50, 60 level players, and they've got some very nice toys.
But that flicks back. Come on, the top end players keep you going. Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, or should I say, no, not the top end. The coiners keep the game alive. Okay, and they're the ones that permit everyone else to play for free.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the way it plays. And all they're doing is buying time, all the shortcuttings, and that's it. So there's no point worrying about that because without them, okay, there wouldn't be a game called Battle Pirates. It wouldn't exist. So anyway, change the subject slightly. So we had a week of 100% health on subs. How's it working out for people? Who's been kited recently? Anybody?
Nope.
I've not been kited this week. Have you?
Well, I didn't know that it was going to apply to the Ghost Crawler.
Applies to everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a sore subject for a lot of people in my alliance.
Is it? I think anything that's subsurface it applies to, doesn't it?
Right, but it was kind of skirted in any of the releases or anything that Kick said.
It just said subs. It didn't actually. I have to say, I must admit, it didn't say mega hole subs. But then the day, it's a sub. The fact that, I can see where you're coming from. I must admit, you know, but I'm not overly surprised, personally. But I can understand where you're probably a bit miffed because at least they brought the fix time down, didn't they?
No, not on the Ghost Crawler. It's still 400% modifier.
Yep.
Is it? I thought they brought it down to the 100 with everything else.
No, mine's a 42 coin repair.
Ghost Crawler is clearly just a nerf, really.
Yeah, that's whether they classed it as a super hull or a capital ship, whatever it is. I think what the player base has put it as that either reduce the modifier to where it is matches to the other subs, or else allow it to be launched at a certain percentage damage.
Yeah,
because okay, you want to make the money, that's fine, but you're classifying a hull type, that's sub, and then you are making divisions in it which class one sub differently. It does not matter whether it's a super hull or a capital hull, but if modifiers are reduced, it should be reduced on all hulls.
Yeah.
And if they don't do it, then allow the players who've coined it, and this is like top-end players who are using these hulls, to launch it at a certain percentage, so it's midway, you know, give and take kind of a thing.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Repair modifier needs to be dropped on the Ghost Crawler. I haven't got one, and I totally agree with where you're coming from.
They could get away with like 200 or 300%. They just need to drop a bone to the community, really.
And I agree. I mean, the Ghost Crawler is the same fleet as a full Tiger fleet. It's a strong hull. It's overpowered. It's a strong hull, and I like it. But you know what I mean. They did not give us any break on it, which is okay. You can leave it on the map forever.
Oh, okay, so in that same vein, then the fact that it's a limited hull. What about Banshees? Are they back to 100?
Oh yeah, they are down to 100.
Okay, so the Ghost Crawler should have been as well then, because that's the only limited one I can think of that would set the precedence to say it's a limited hull, so it's not going to get reduced. So if they've reduced the Banshee to a 100%, then they definitely should have reduced the Ghost Crawler as well, because it's the policy is a subsurface a subsurface vessel, a submarine, right across the board then should have the same policy. If you're going to make every single one of them 100% to launch, then every one of them should be back to the 100% multiplier.
Even as an owner of one, I disagree with you a little bit. I think the modifier maybe should have been dropped to 200% modifier because it is such an elite hull.
But you can just up the armor points and do it that way, and make it a little bit more sturdy.
I think they're looking at it towards what it can do in the raid too, and anybody with a Ghost Crawler can do the raid for practically free.
I don't know. You picking up damage now on targets with a Ghost Crawler. My friend's got one, and it looks like my Tigers actually or my Phantom Tiger actually takes less damage than his Ghost Crawler when we're doing 70s.
I think you're right on that. The reason being, with the number of limited weapons or damage being done with the Tigers, most people are mixing it between speed and damage. So you're able to fire, turn, and move, and the damage your Tiger fleet is doing is lesser than what the Ghost Crawler is doing. So it basically stands no chance to pull away, because the target's already dead and the blast is causing the damage on the crawlers. I think that's what people.
Yeah, my friends.
Even with the blade.
Yeah, my friend's definitely picking up more damage. I'm running one Tiger, or a Phantom Tiger, and I'm kicking out the same amount of damage. He's got 22 sticks. I'm running 8 Cherons, and I think I'm about 500 damage less than him. As per
I can do it.
But he's actually.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do a 70. The 70 new ones that are out with oh my God, I forgot what they're called. The cheap boats than I can with the Ghost Crawler.
Yeah.
You can tell someone's got a Ghost Crawler. The cheap boats.
I'll tell you what they're called in a second.
That was like a hit below the belt for us.
That was funny. That was.
Yeah.
That was class. Yeah.
Spectres.
Spectres. All right, I feel a little better now.
Okay. Actually, quickly about Spectres.
I can do it with the Spectres.
So quickly about Spectres then.
The combat speed you can get on them now is unbelievable.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
I think you can take it up to like 36 or 37 combat speed on the Spectre.
37 mine are.
And the dive time is 90 seconds now once you retro everything?
Yep.
Yeah, they're staying there forever.
So let's. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're with the speed. They're nearly as good as a Banshee. They're nearly as good as a Banshee, to be honest, because by the time the Banshee gets there, it's lost half of its dive time. Whereas the Spectre now has got a minute and a half dive time, but it's as fast almost faster than a Nighthawk.
Yeah, it is. The Nighthawks have dipped out quite big time actually this time round. I've got a fleet of Nighthawks. I've got I'm running engine 3 on my Spectres. That's how old they are, and they're doing 33.
The special slot. I mean, we've only got a few minutes left, but it can run over. It doesn't really matter. So for subs, just in case everybody hasn't got it, basically, if you don't put ablative armor on your subs, you're going to have a bad raid. It's going to either mean you're not going to have much seat time because you're going to get exploded up, and subs are going to die, and you have to wait for them to fix 100%, or you're going to be spending an awful lot more coins. So consider them. Even the Spectres have only got 3 slots. Consider what you're going to put on them, and retro the right things up. Start doing it now. So personally, stealth system and that sort of stuff, or whether you want to go Magnus Drive, or whether you want to go Cat 5, or whatever it is you're going to do, just think about the fact that you must have some explosive defense on there. Otherwise, you're going to have a bit of a nasty raid, and your subs are not going to last.
One question, which actually there have been a couple of queries, even I've not been able to answer. The Death Blast, the range on that, is there a specific on that? Is it like 100 or 200, or it's like unknown so far?
It's been adjusted.
What?
So basically, the Reaver core engine on the Reavers, when it explodes, what range is the blast range? Okay, I can confirm. Okay, then from my experience, that's not been fixed as we've been going through the previews, because I've noted that it seems to change as we go through different previews and that sort of stuff. So I think it's one of the mechanics they're playing with. And I've not found a single sub that can turn fast enough and get away and not get damaged. So I'm saying it's at least 150 is my guess.
Yep.
I was watching the guy at my alliance last night hit a 70 with his Phantom Tiger and regular Tigers, and he got instant repair on his Phantom and 3 minutes on his other ones. So he was doing it right.
Yeah.
Did he use a crew on that? like the steelheads to boost explosive defense? Just thinking.
I don't think so.
All right. Probably going with the maximum of the D4S, is it right? The highest level that we have, or D5S? Probably that with ablative to give it about, I think, 94%. That's, I think, what you max out on explosive.
In some respects, I think, if you're running about approximately about detection range of about 15, you'll be okay. But look, you need to have your explosive defense up around, well, plus 80, well above 80 if you can get it. I would go for the 90s if you can. The more explosive defense you're going to get, the better time you're going to have. It may take you a bit longer because your slip's a bit slower and that sort of stuff, but you're going to last longer in the game. Especially if you're a non-coiner. Getting your explosive up is going to be your key to staying in the raid and taking seat time longer. It's up to you, but obviously tie that off again. Obviously, with obviously if it takes like 6 coins to fix it as opposed to 3 coins to fix it, or the hour an hour and a half compared to 3 hours, you've got to find that happy medium where you as a player are comfortable. There are plenty of builds out there. I've seen on 4 different sites. I've seen probably 60 different builds now. Loads and loads and loads of going up.
And I'm also considering, apart from the Grease Monkey, one crew that people can start, trying to get is the remote raiders.
Yeah.
That is one crew that's not looked in, but that combat speed boost.
30%.
Yeah, Grease Monkey, it'll give you the boost based on damage. But the remote raiders, it's fixed. It's a stock across the board the moment you enter battle, and that's going to help big time to get away in certain, places where you get stuck or you can't maneuver out.
Yeah, I mean, Grease Monkeys are great if you leave them in your base and that sort of stuff, but to be honest, I totally agree. The Remote Raider is the one to have, if you're rolling for the big ones. There are a couple of good little crews and that sort of stuff, Sea Serpent's good if you want turn. And if you're going for the Magnus Drive engine, Sea Serpent's excellent because obviously gives you the 50% turn boost. So it gives you that chance to get away, and turn out the way and that sort of stuff, or turn into, once obviously the cavataric ring disappears, turn back in and go and nab that ship. And then if you are a bit slow on your torps and that stuff, and you're already using B torps, you can turn back out again and get outside that cav ring before it pops back on again. So there are a couple of, obviously there's the standard 10% speed up crew as well, isn't there, for an accuracy crew that as well for I can't remember the name of it, but for subs as well, there's that one as well. So
right, and you got six weeks to roll for your crews for the next raid.
And the other two, yeah, the 2 lowest ones we're talking about, they're the free rolls as well. You have a chance of getting them for nothing.
Yeah, the Silent Hunters.
The Silent Hunter, yeah, the 5% one on which you can get for nothing, or the 10% one which is the single star, or the Sea Serpent. Even if you get the one without a star on it, it's still a 50% turn boost. So it's still doing its job.
More than damage, because every sub will be doing some damage. You can time out, you can go back in. The most important thing that obviously all of you all have discussed is going to be speed and turn. That will be way more important than just raw damage.
Not getting spotted is the most important thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. 74, that's what I tested in the test server. Cloak percentage, 74. Anything below 74 was picked up.
Yeah. I've said everybody in my airline 76 is your target figure to go for.
All
Just
right,
give me a bit of slack. That's all I went for, because obviously people do different things. Most of that you can do through retro on subcav, can't you? Most of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then just get rolling those crews, and as much explosive as you can get on there, and explosive defense as you can possibly do.
I'll be very interested to see the special and the weapon on this new sub coming up too.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even talked. I mean, we'll pick up on that next week. I'm hoping there'll be something that'll come out about the new sub and that sort of stuff. It'll be due to be, information will be due to be out about it and that sort of stuff. And if I get something, obviously, we'll save it up for the show. I won't just make it on the forum sort of stuff. But if we do get something, it'd be great to talk about it. I think the last thing then before we log off, before we go over too far, is just basically those that have got the fallback price for this week for the FM, which is the Gatling gun. And the special to go with it as well. I hope you've realised that basically the gun itself, does fit on a level 5 turret. But but obviously, what's the extra special code? I can't remember. The little 200. Oh, come on. Who's done it? Who's done it?
Panels.
The solar panels, that's it. Yeah, you can only fit one special on the level 5 turret, but if you put that solar panel on there, it actually gives that individual turret a boost level of 200 points. It actually works on that one turret, which means then this gun will fit on a level 5 turret, and you can put it straight into your base. So those that are running level 4 and level 5 turrets, you know, solar panel, thanks Damnation, mate. Yeah, you can actually fit this on a level 5. It's worked, I've done it myself. And you know, if you get enough base parts as well, it only actually, because I put it on a blank one, and it only took 3.5 hours, and it was done. You know, so it's sitting in my base now. I've got it on an arc where actually, as soon as they come near my channel, it fires all the way around. You know, and it's covering the whole range from end to end. Clearly, it's a level 5 turret. It can be taken out and that sort of stuff. You know, and it can be pinched because it's not got the right special on it. But then again, if you pinch that one, you're not going to pinch other things. So I put it somewhere standalone-ish. So you know, it's a decision to make for the person attacking, which is part of the fun of the game.
Have you been hit, and what do you think about the damage from it?
No, I haven't yet. I'm a bit gutted, but I have seen a couple of videos where I did like it. I must admit, I saw a couple of people. Somebody did a post with actually some voiceover, and it was quite impressive, I must admit, because the fire rate of it was ridiculous. Once they started getting into the channel, and they had the special on because they put it on level 7 turret, but once with the special as well, it just got faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, I think the initial burst is doesn't do much, and then suddenly you realize once it goes into that wind-up mode, and the ships don't have the bloodthirst yet. Revenge is definitely they'll melt, but that new ship or the Vendetta will be able to tank it for a certain time, but then you'll have other kinds of damage with the Windigo field and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll hurt really bad, this one.
Yeah. Was it? I mean, Dan Notion's in chat. I think he discovered it himself. I'm not really sure. If he did, then tops and hats off to you, mate. Well done. Yet again, it's the player base. I mean, whether that's an oversight by Kixie, whether they intended that to someone. I mean, do we give them credit and say they put things into game expecting us to tumble over them? It's a bit of a Cluedo session, or do we say that, you know, we try things out as the masses, and basically somebody stumbles across something, and then actually we get one over on each other and them as well? What would you think? I don't know. It's you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it's like a double-edged sword. It's got its pros and cons. You know, really tough to say.
Yeah, but it's nice when you find these things, isn't it? Like people putting, you know, mortars on a Gore Saber, and all of a sudden it can get through 6 tiles, which is quite comical. I laughed my head off when I saw it first. You know, fortunately no one hit my base with it and that sort of stuff, but that would have been a bit sad. But it was I still laugh. You know, so it's yeah. It is nice to try and beat the system. We all like that, and if you know, in this game, if you can get one over on somebody, that's the whole idea, isn't it? That's the fun of it. When, you know, you thought of something that somebody didn't, you know, and that's half of the battle, isn't it? You know, making somebody else look who thinks they're great is not so great, and then you for 5 seconds think you're great, and then someone comes and beats you as well. So, you know, tie that in with human nature, and then that's what makes the game fun. Okay, so anybody got anything else to talk about? Or are we good?
I'm good.
More or less covered everything here.
I think we covered all the issues I thought we could cover that's live. Yeah, so closing remarks. Okay, for those that are out there hunting those fragments, keep at it. You know, some people are saying they're not getting awarded them quite correctly and that sort of stuff. Bear in mind, like if you're looking for some, obviously the tier 1 fragments, they don't just go on the CUDA, they also go for obviously you know, other subs as well. So it's not necessarily, you might not be looking the right one sometimes. It just depends. But keep at it, keep plugging away, and if you really can't be bothered with the Foundry and you think you can get the top prize, then maybe you might want to wait till the raid's out and just jump straight to it. What it's going to look like, what it's going to do, how it's going to work, well, let's wait to see. Okay, we'll wrap it up there, shall we? We'll say goodnight. Thanks all for coming on the panel, and great to have all your opinions as well. Agni, thanks for coming on, mate. I know it was a first for you on here, which is great.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me here.
No, it's good, mate. I've seen you in sector as well, and you give out some good advice in the sector. I know you pop around sectors, but you're in ours at the moment, and you are giving out some really stern advice. And I know you're a long-time player as well, so it's good to see you sharing it.
Thank you.
That's okay. Imri, mate, it's good to see you on again. Thanks very much. And Jeff as well. Paul, you're a knob. You always have been, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, that happens, doesn't it?
What the hell?
Bear and all that.
Yeah. What the hell? I'm still going to call you Wattle because it's easier. No, that's good on you, mate. Thanks for that. And if they do anything to your ghost caller, then you can say it was us. We'll see. Right. Take care, all, and I'll speak to you next week.
Later.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.